On this episode of That Kingsville Podcast, we talk about the Kingsville Santa Claus Parade and how many views we've now achieved on YouTube. Gentlemen, we've made it.
Big deals.
Quit your careers. We're just parade MCs forever. We also recap some predictions that we had earlier this year, and we talk about some stuff. So join us on That Kingsville Podcast.
Stop.
We'd like to thank our sponsors of That Kingsville Podcast, Kingsville Brewery. Featuring refreshing premium beers perfect for having a couple of pints with your pals. Crafted with natural, clean ingredients, their award-winning beers available at select LCBO beer stores and grocery stores. Go online to their website, kingsvillebrewery.com, and order takeout from the tap house or beer delivered free in Essex County. Cheers to the everyday adventure. Thank you, Kingsville Brewery. Go buy the new merch, too. They've got a new merch release. Some nice new hoodies and hats and toques.
Great Christmas gifts.
Fantastic Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Support local businesses. If anyone from Kingsville understands anything, support local businesses like Lee and Maria's. And are we going to mention coffee? Craig?
No. Okay, fine.
Craig.
It's delicious Red Lantern coffee.
There we go. Thank you, Kingsville Brewery, for continuing support of That Kingsville Podcast. Welcome to That Kingsville Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Hunt. With me, Kevin Black and Steve Ianson. Gentlemen, it's only taken the better part of the year, but we are the most famous people over the last couple of weeks in Kingsville. We have over 8,600 views on the parade video that our friend Gary here helped facilitate.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I hadn't looked in a while. I thought it was
I
3,000.
looked at all. I listened to the first podcast today just to get the information on this. I've never listened to us, so
8,600 gentlemen.
That's ridiculous.
We don't combine views of we're rivaling other publications from local news stations. It's the parade. It was well done. Gary,
well done.
Well done.
It's well done.
Well done. We had a good time.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
Listening back to the video, though, I could only handle listening to myself for a minute and a half.
That's because we're talking like this the entire time.
I was, for sure. And that's why I wear headphones.
Yeah, exactly. So you can mute yourself.
I know. I was listening. I'm like, wow, I'm really loud compared to everybody else. If I had headphones on, they teach you the first day in broadcasting school, always be aware of your monitors. You need to know how you sound. Yeah, the one time that I don't, the entire time that we've done the podcast, I sound like I'm screaming at people on the floats.
Well, because we were screaming at people.
We were kind of screaming at people on the
that's because
floats.
the fire department were halfway down division. We still had to.
I watched it probably 3 times, and it's I'm trying to get the sentence, and then you. I'm like, oh my!
He's opening his mouth. Sound the horn.
So many,
so loud. They, let's really pick this parade apart. So the fire trucks are way too loud.
I was waiting to see what you'd start with. And they were very punctual to start at 8 or 6 o'clock at 6:45 or whenever they started rolling.
Those they
were.
need to rethink the continuous blasting of the fire truck horns while it's surrounded by 2- and 3-story buildings
Or babies, right?
Babies.
How many children now have slight hearing loss because they were 183 decibels at point blank range.
And then there was the moment where the 2 trucks went by and oh, good. That was loud. And you saw the kids across the street pull their hands away from their ears. Oh, we can hear again. And then number 3, that's 20 feet back,
hiding,
starts blasting. It's nope, surprise, here I am.
Oh,
I guess there's a couple of parts to that too, because I know a few years ago it was brought up that why are they always sounding the horn so frequently and the siren frequently, and the bands who are maybe even 5, 6, 10 floats ahead, you can't hear them. So it became a bit of an issue then. On the flip side of it, if you looked inside any of those trucks, there's kids in those trucks.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
firefighters' kids, and they are
wanna
having
hear-
they
want to hear
stop the horn, Dad! Stop the
Yes,
horn, Mom!
Of
You know.
course.
So it's tough, and I don't want to bash. I don't want to say anything negative about the fire department because I love them, but
I wish they just had like a parade volume, right? Like same horn,
Like,
just take her
dial
put
down.
a couple of socks in the actual
Yeah.
in the horn. Yeah. Like
Muffle it a bit.
yeah.
Now, it is something to be said that really the biggest complaint about the parade is the fact that the fire trucks were too loud. Like,
Yeah.
that was a well done parade.
Yeah, hats off to everybody at the town and all the volunteers and everybody that pulled it together. You know, we had the episode where the whole idea of everything. Well, now it's a town-related event. Nay, the three of us were a little skeptical. Admittedly so, right?
Yep,
A big
absolutely.
undertaking to take on
Yeah.
with such a short time frame. Zero or little to no experience with facilitating all the different people that you have to put in, all the different organizations, all the different coordinators, and it went off without a hitch.
Honestly, the only thing I think that could have made it any better was sunshine.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you know what? Listen, I'm coming over to the Kevin side of things. I'm coming over to because unfortunately Gary and I were outside for a very prolonged amount of time doing setup and making sure that we were in the right position in order to do the broadcast that we did. Would have been great if there was a little bit of sunlight, like as soon as dusk hits, bam, we can roll that parade through. It's just dark enough. You get to the park and you can fireworks it up, and then shabazz, it's 6:00.
I get it, and I'm not going to necessarily dispute that angle of it, but I will say, so you mentioned the town and the volunteers and everyone that put that together. On top of that, some of the floats were spectacular. There wasn't a bad float in the entire parade, but the amount of time it must have taken some, and they were so good because it was dark. I mean, that semi truck, the way that thing was lit up was fantastic. And then I know Division Road Preschool. I'll plug them. I mean, they
They took care of your kids.
they took care of their kids.
Did you see Leah Maria's van?
I think I might have missed
some
you
dogs.
missed that one?
We saw
Oh.
some dogs.
Some dogs?
Yeah.
No, but Canada Post. There we go. We'll plug. Yeah, there we go.
I got no horse in this race, so fine.
No, but
We love them all.
Yeah.
and I think at the end of the day, you'd have to change the appeal of it if you wanted to have it during the day, and then it becomes the Migration Festival.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think during the day. I think just in the early evening. So it starts
4.
right 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock ends at 6. Right, you're just hitting dusk. So
Twilight.
bam,
I
all
would
those
call it Twilight.
Twilight without the vampires.
Yeah, no
and-
vampires. Still,
wolves.
It's
still some glittering.
if you
but
call
no.
if you call it a Twilight parade, how many fan kids are you gonna? We're here for the Twilight
How
parade.
many fan kids?
Robert Pattinson.
Those kids are 35 now, and no one else knows what it is. So the band kids would be the moms.
Yeah. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, Tam still rewatches the movies every
I
now
know,
and then.
it happens. It happens. I'm pretty on team whatever, team Edward or team.
I guess once
Or-
she gets through all the Hallmark Christmas movies.
But yeah,
I got nothing. I love Hallmark Christmas.
you do the 4 o'clock to
Not
6
knocking.
o'clock. You can see everything. You're not stepping on anybody because it's not dusk or it's not dark, and you got
End it when it's time it so Santa gets to the park when it's dark, so that it's like bam. It's just a smooth transition. Done
5:30.
and done. Let it go.
Well,
And let people be gone, so it's still dinner time. Then they go eat and do whatever they want to do.
I'll suggest then that maybe the town of Kingsville should consider a survey and just
sure.
say, hey, how many people agree with Kevin and now Dave and think it should start earlier? And how many people disagree with Kevin?
fine. We'll just fight them, and they're wrong.
Well, anyone that wants to take part in the lawn sign, get a lawn sign to support daytime parades.
Daytime parades.
Just let me know. We're gonna start collecting donations to ramp up the daytime parade campaign.
Well, in Amherstburg, there's Save Jack Purdy Park signs, and now in Kingsville, will be Save Nighttime Parades.
No. Like
No one
you
wants
got
that.
eyes. Use them when you can see things.
So has anyone gone on the train yet?
I have not.
Have you?
No.
You're an official train conductor.
I'm supposed to be. I think I told Nelson I'd work with him on the 10th.
So
if he listens to this, there's confirmation.
10th of December, live remote.
10th.
Ooh, from the train? How? But you did the train-ing, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't done that. You haven't been behind the wheel at all yet.
No. I think I'll just do the hot chocolate. Nelson can drive the train.
Yeah, but Nelson already got to drive it all the way through town for the parade.
Well, he can drive it all around the paved park.
Oh, Steve. The Tesla won't slip off.
I'm not even going to walk on that path. I'm going to jump over it out of spite.
Utter disdain.
Yes. I don't like you, tarmac.
I will not support
avoid
this
you.
paved path.
I will trip on cords and fall in leaves before I walk on that path.
Tackle a few Fantasy Alliance figurines. I will sacrifice
Coming for you, Gaffin's barber pole.
The giant parrot just then ran into the giant parrot. It's just
my head on the parrot. Where's Steve? Oh, he's a parrot now.
No, we unfortunately didn't get to go down and see the official kickoff because we were still breaking down the equipment uptown. But everybody that made it down to Lakeside Park after the parade said it was great, and the train was there doing the tours. And I've seen some stuff on social media already. 100 people or so in a night so far. So
great.
Apparently that Tesla is it's starting to pay for itself.
Well, good for the town of Kingsville for finally realizing it was a worthwhile endeavor.
Oh man, you were just you're full of them tonight.
Did you work today? Did you work?
I did, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had a great shift today, actually.
That's why. Gary, it's a great day. Why aren't you having a great day? Steve, look at Steve. He's in rare form. It's a rare form.
So we went. I was in the city of Toronto on the weekend.
Where were you now? Big smoke.
The Big Smoke.
Big Smoke.
Went up with some other local restaurateurs.
Would this be a part of the conglomeration? The farm is a part of
Eat, Drink, Dine Kingsville group.
EDDK, as it were.
EDDK. Gift cards are on sale around the area.
Yeah, support your local public schools.
Schools.
Like was it a $4 donation for every card purchase?
Yep.
My kids just sold a bunch, so it's great.
I may have dropped a few $100.
Yeah.
Myself, anyway.
No. So we went up. It was we called it a fact-finding mission. I mean, it was a lot of fun. So there's
first time to Toronto.
We were like, oh, this city, and how does the CN Tower work? This
Can we get one?
CN Tower. Can we call CP and get a CP tower? And but we went to the winter one of the main reasons was going to the winter market in the distillery district to walk around and see how they do what they do. And is there anything that we could glean to bring back to Kingsville to make the Festival of Lights possibly a more wholesome, maybe somewhat business-oriented event?
Yeah. And?
What was first painfully obvious was that the town needs a gigantic Christmas tree. Not big enough. I know what you're gonna say. Oh. Not big enough.
Oh,
the one that's at the four corners.
Oh,
that's got lights halfway up.
Yeah,
it needs to be huge.
Like how huge are we talking? Like CN Tower huge?
Like 40 feet.
40 feet.
Just have one shipped from BC.
It's not real. You don't get a real one. You get one that's like fake. And
I don't know if that's in the budget. We just bought a Tesla train.
It's funny. I was actually Googling it today. I'm like, I wonder how much, if I wanted a 40-foot commercial Christmas tree, like what would that roughly cost me? Like if I just wanted to throw it in my backyard, right?
And?
Like, you're looking at about 35 G's.
Now, what about Boxing Day?
What about Boxing Day?
Christmas trees all go on sale on Boxing Day. How much is it? It's got to be at least like 50%.
I thought there might have been a Black Friday sale on commercial gigantic Christmas trees, but there wasn't. So yeah, you're probably right.
35 G's, eh?
35 G's. And then so that gives you it's already lit. It's huge. And then what we saw at the distillery district was they put it on a platform so that people couldn't reach the bottom and steal all the decorations off, right? It's up high enough. But every single person that walked through there was taking pictures in front of it.
Uh-huh.
So you throw a couple of huts out there, maybe you try to get it licensed, and away you go.
Gosh,
Bob's your uncle.
So it's the distillery district.
Yeah.
Everything's lit year round.
Honk, honk, honk.
Oh, come on.
Slow on that.
Come on. No, I don't know why you
That
had to
took
go
a
to
second.
Toronto to see how the businesses could get involved when you could have just gone to Amherstburg.
Well, that's phase 2 of their, magical mystery tour of
Right. So
fact finding.
So next weekend we're going to go to this place called, I don't know if you've heard of it, Amherstburg, and we're going to go check out.
3-part word or something.
It is. It's Amherst.
Yeah, Amherstburg. We're going to go to honestly, it was interesting to see because obviously they're able to do it on a scale that wouldn't be possible for us. We just don't have the population to support something like that. But to kind of get an idea of how you could set up something that would be a commercially viable. And there are some changes that could come to the Fantasy of Lights to make it even more people come. 100 people on the train in a night is pretty fantastic, though.
Mm-hmm.
But the town needs to invest a little bit of cash they have in the train, but I think that they need to keep it going.
I think, if I understand correctly, that as time goes on and as things reemerge post-COVID, and there are more plans in order to expand some of the event, I guess, locales and facilities. I was speaking with a counselor who I will not name, but that counselor was discussing with me the idea of setting up smaller, movable retail locations as something that they were going to present as an option now with the committee of the whole, as that is now the format instead of the old ECDEV committee. So I'd like to see if this counselor's prediction comes true.
Does their first name rhyme with hummus?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Or does it rhyme with Loney?
I don't know. I do not reveal my sources.
Vim? No.
It
Flora?
was Glary.
It's Glary.
Glary.
Could have gone with Barry or
No, it's Glary.
Glary.
No, but yeah, no. Those are things that way back when we started taking a look at in the ECDEV committee because of Campus Martius in Detroit. And if you've ever been to Campus Martius, have you been to Campus?
I have.
And all those wonderful little greenhouses that they have as retail spaces and cafes and things like. Steve, have you been?
Not in the Christmas season.
Steve, take the wife, get your ice skates. I hear your wife knows a little bit how to skate. So romance, the downtown Detroit, but the whole
Love is in the air.
It is. It's very romantic.
And COVID.
Well, now,
Right.
then when I did it,
That was fine.
I wasn't skating either because I can't skate. So I highly recommend. So fact finding in Toronto. We looked at a tree. Okay, this is check.
Well,
so
that's what I remember.
Great excuse. Great use. Great use of the
wasn't
time.
the only lit thing, obviously.
Ooh.
No, we don't. No,
It's
that's
on
the
time,
second time I made that
Yeah,
joke.
it's fine.
We don't need the
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
There we go.
So what else? What else was on the agenda other than just the tree?
That was pretty much it.
Holy cow! How do I get involved in EDDK? What do I got to do?
Start a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big.
Dave's Faves.
It's a big undertaking. I want to pass on that.
So what else we want to talk about?
Well, we're not quite a year in to the podcast. We are close, right?
Are we? When was it?
April.
So
April.
We're finishing 8 months now.
Yeah. So now that we're into early December, kind of a good time to just take a quick look back at the first episode, and we made some predictions.
Third.
Oh, yeah.
Third episode. Thank you, Steve. I don't even remember what it was.
Well, I had to look it up to figure out what we did.
What it was. So
I wrote them all down, and then I lost the list. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to finally listen to a podcast.
First one. And what did you think? Are you a subscriber now? By the way,
not yet. I'm not convinced, but I'll get there.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube video and on wherever you get your podcast, because apparently all we got to do is stand in front of a Christmas parade for you guys to actually watch. But now, if you found us, this is what we usually do instead of being on a balcony freezing, talking about floats with dogs and whatnot. But that transport truck was great.
Wicked.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
SK Cornerstone.
Is that who it was? Yeah.
It was Cornerstone.
That's great.
I did see we have 22 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, my mom and me and my fake account and my dog's account. So we got about 10 legitimate.
Okay.
But on that note, though, the reaction that we got, or at least was towards me about the parade and whatnot, everybody liked the fact that we were there, enjoyed the video, thought it was great. And all the Facebook groups that, we kind of post these videos to, they, thought the production was great. Watching all the parades, the audio, they said it was great. If they weren't able to attend, they actually got to see the parade. So it was very helpful, and we did a solid for the community, Gary. Well, it's what you do. We're just the yapping couple folks up on the balcony.
We ruined it for some. Who knows?
I don't think we did, but
Mute and watch.
Yeah.
Like Christmas music in the background. There you go.
Why is Feliz Navidad not playing again? Anyway, we made some predictions earlier in the year.
There was a lot of Feliz Navidad.
There was. That's
the one I don't like. I don't like that one.
Prosperos años. Anyway, Steve,
Dave,
since this was your ordeal, what were the questions that we asked?
it was an ordeal.
Well, it was from the reporter, the days of the reporter.
We started with sports.
Sports.
And the first prediction was who was going to win the Final Four. We knew who the Final Four were.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't remember it all.
So one of us picked Gonzaga and two of us picked Baylor, and Baylor won.
I probably picked the Zags.
You did.
Yeah.
NHL, we had three different predictions. Dave took the Whalers, so by default the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Kev, you went with your heart, and I got that one right too, and I took the Lightning. NFL, it was unanimous.
Because it
All
just
got it
happened.
right. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was March that we did the first one. It was early April. Anyway, go on.
And then no, it was. It was. But then, we had the Super Bowl winners.
Yeah.
We should predict. Oh no, we'll do that in January.
Uh-huh.
NBA was a fun little task because none of us knew who was any good.
Yeah.
I had to look it up.
I follow basketball a little bit. I think I took the Nets, right?
Yeah, you took Brooklyn, and then I took Brooklyn over Utah, the Steve Nash factor. Dave took the Lakers. And then I had to rack my brain as to who actually won.
Oh, no, wait. Minnesota. No,
It was the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew it was a northern city.
We were unanimous on who we picked for baseball.
Blue
And
Jays.
even with 91 wins, they didn't get in the playoffs.
Close.
Unbelievable.
Close.
Good for them.
You know what? I still, even knowing the way the season went, I probably would have picked them again.
Yeah. Houston. Houston.
Braves.
Oh, it was the Braves.
Yeah, Braves.
Braves,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
I would never guess the Braves.
Yeah.
No, not many people probably did.
No. Someone made a lot of money.
Then we talked a little bit about when we thought masks would be. So I gambled and I said November of 2021. So unless all of a sudden in the next 4 hours they decide, hey, we're not gonna... I'm wrong. Dave went with June of 2022.
Oh, I'm still alive.
I think I was chewing at the time, so I didn't hear what Kevin actually said on that one. It was during supper. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I think it's March-ish. I don't.
And then this one can still happen because we talked about when we thought the pandemic might actually end.
Yeah.
We went with the whole World Health Organization declaring it.
Yep.
So Dave's January of 23, Kevin's September of 22, and I'm November of 22. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Rapid succession doesn't look like that's
It
gonna happen.
doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
Omicron.
And then we talked federal politics. And
it was election.
Was there going to be an election?
Yeah.
Two of us said yes. One said no.
Who said no? Was it me?
No.
Did I say no?
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't think it would happen this year. You and we debated and we presented our things, our ideas. But
I
you
could not have
you
been
did
more
think
wrong.
that the Liberals would win.
Yeah, minority.
Yeah, and you were correct on that front.
I honestly, I think they'll keep winning minorities until the conservatives get a new leader. They're in trouble.
So that was kind of the meat and potatoes of it all. We didn't do too bad.
That's okay.
We'll try again in January to see what happens in 2022. And then
You know what? I'm hearing them. I'm still fine with who I picked for sports. They put in valiant efforts.
It wasn't one complete miss.
What? Maybe.
Wow. Now we'll next year we'll have more elections, right? We'll have municipal and a provincial. Yeah.
We're not going to have another federal for a while. Not next year, I don't think.
I don't think they can do it next year.
No.
Be electioned out. People will be apathetic.
Yeah.
Like when do you have it? Spring? No, that's
Can't. Too soon.
Yeah.
fall. It's going to overlap with the municipal.
I mean, municipal, they probably aren't going to care a whole lot, but even still, I think that they're going to let this roll till they're going to want to be out of the pandemic.
Right. And is it?
As
It's, I
much
don't
as
know
they
that
can.
it's a municipal election all across Canada, right? It's a municipal election in Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
the
it's only a provincial election in Ontario too.
No, I'm saying though, like when you just mentioned the feds
Oh,
not
yeah.
caring about the municipal election. Well, they're not going to care about one province, so to speak.
Ontario, I think they would,
So,
and like because it eats up a lot of bandwidth, right? Like it's they're gonna like take over the news cycle. Provincial generally dominates the news cycle over federal when it comes to politics. So I don't know.
well, I mean, at the end of the day, the one that has the most impact, but the least press is the municipal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's only localized in certain small regions of the province. So, and we don't have a print newspaper anymore to
We don't.
rely on. How else will we know about the candidates?
We'll have to have a candidate.
We should have a candidates night.
Candidates night.
Yeah. Well, I think if after the whole parade, enterprise, I think the town would welcome us.
I think I know a guy who can host, and I think I know a guy who can.
I think I know 3 guys that can host.
I don't host.
That's fine. You can just stand there and look pretty.
I can stand there.
I'll be in the crowd.
Yes. I have a question.
I have a question.
Yeah, you'll be that guy.
Yeah, I'll hold the microphone.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good at that part. I've done
Aren't you
it.
the moderator? No, you'll be the moderator.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to be the moderator.
Yeah.
Dave's the host.
Dave.
You
No,
have,
you can be the host and moderator.
I could do. I multitask.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have
and then
30 seconds.
I'll be the person that wants to ask a question but go on way too long. Will try to rip the microphone out of my hand, and
No, you don't let them touch the
you don't let them touch the mic. You hit them with the microphone if they try to take it out. No, you cannot have that.
No. Bad kid.
You say your question into this microphone I'm holding. You are not going off on a
Bad
tangent.
kid.
There would be
Bad
no
kid.
tangents.
All right. Well, make sure you're available in September.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Well, we'll see. Depending
Well, I might
on
be busy that month.
Okay.
depending on what happens over the next 10 months, we'll see how we fare. But now as of today, we don't have the PCR requirement for short trips to the US.
Yeah.
So that's an improvement. Well, let's see if Omicron variant actually materializes into anything, right? If that kind of regresses things, but as you know, our children 5 to 11 now can get vaccinations. We were one of the first on Thursday. We stood out there in the rain. There was a kid before my youngest, so we let him take all the fame and glory on the.
Would you go to the Leamington Municipal Building?
No, the
Up to the mass
Sears.
Yeah, the mass vaccination.
No, I'm
center.
still going to call it Sears. It
Sears.
still looks like Sears. Remember that time when there was a department store that had everything you wanted, including chainsaws,
Sellers.
in the mall? Yeah. That's a great value, Sears. So yeah, no, I hope we're trending back towards reemergence. I hope we're trending back towards if the election can happen without COVID being an overbearing subject matter at that time. I hope that it doesn't come into the political foray of which way a candidate leans as a political topic.
Well, that's what Facebook's for.
Does anyone use Facebook anymore?
No, I think everyone's off it now.
Yeah, it should be. Nothing.
Yeah, I heard it shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done. It's over. It's too bad.
Meta. I don't even know what that is. Meta. Zucker.
Basketball player.
World peace.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at you.
Hey, I knew a thing.
Who was he before? Was that Ron Artest?
Yeah, that's Ron Artest.
I knew 2 things.
Did you see how the LeBron elbow in the eye melee that happened
Yes.
a couple weeks ago?
And then he threw the basketball in the guy's face the other night.
Yeah. But when I was watching it, and Isaiah Stewart, I think is the name of the Piston, right? So they were going off and watching Isaiah Stewart following LeBron around on the court. And all I could think was, of course, this is happening in Detroit.
The malice at the palace.
The malice at the palace.
And there's no more palace though.
No.
It's the malice at the Little Caesars Arena.
Right.
That doesn't have a good ring to it anymore.
Melee at the LCA.
Oh,
Pretty good.
This is why you're in
Pretty
media. Quick on your feet.
I would probably come up with another one. No,
hey,
we can't.
hey. No,
No, that's it.
Heyday at the LCA. Anyway,
Hey, maker.
that's I got.
Crowd pleasers at Caesars.
Ooh.
You can't.
I don't know.
You can't. You can't.
Why do I
No,
get a goose for that?
Now, I'm
know.
pretty sure
That was the
that's a
same button.
bar in Las Vegas.
Probably. Probably.
I was trying to rhyme something with pizza, but nothing along those lines.
Is there
would
even
come.
anything that rhymes with pizza? Pizza?
Pizza?
This is the worst podcast ever.
Plenty of quality content here for this.
No one will call about anything,
Anyone
but they're
is-
like, no, this rhymes with pizza.
This is the worst. You're like, this is the follow up to the major. Like the most. We were supposed to have a guest. Unfortunately, the guest had to pull out at the last minute.
So
That didn't
now we're
sound
just doing the rhyming dictionary.
right. We are. We are. Unfortunately, we had other content. Hopefully, the next episode, that individual will be able to join us. But
That's the plan.
that's the plan. So we're recapping a few things, and
So a couple of notes. I noticed Jasperson looks like it should be opening soon.
behind the arena.
Yeah. So how did they manage to build a brand new road faster than they're able to replace a water main on Road 2?
Ooh, good point.
And here's a question. They haven't paved it yet. I'm pretty sure the asphalt plants are going to be closed soon. And are they going to get it done before winter?
I thought,
Oh, they better.
hey, look, they were paving the path today. So some paving is done because
Road 2's paved? Oh, no, not Road 2. Yeah, Jasperson's
Yeah.
all done, but Road
Yeah.
2. It's like Kevin and I both work in Leamington, and it is the worst.
It's the worst.
The worst.
Like
I sometimes work in Leamington too, not to be left out of the
Yeah, but you
mix.
don't have to commute at the same time that we do, right?
yeah, you're
No.
not commuting like battling the school buses on Seacliff all the way. And it,
Oh, well, in
it
that case,
ruins
fine.
my day, my whole day.
Wah, wah.
Like I just I try so many times to go down Road 2 too because I keep thinking, well, they still have
Today.
their own closed signs up, but you got to be able to get by, right? So then drive like halfway down, you see there's a giant excavator across the road. Like, how is this still happening?
Yeah.
What there must be some major malfunction on that road, and they're the same people that did the section of Jasperson they did earlier this year. The water main work, JJ LaPera.
Yeah.
And now, rumor is that that a number of the residents along Jasperson have filed complaints with the town because the amount of tamping that they were doing actually vibrated their houses so much that it cracked foundations and walls.
Uh-oh.
So there are insurance claims that are in because this work happened. And now they took months. At what point do you say, well, you know what? Maybe the lowest bid's not the best option.
I don't know that you can, but usually there's stipulations in the contract that if it goes beyond the date, then there's fines or they have to repay certain things. And then I'm not saying this is the case, but I know.
Well, and what I'm trying to remember has weather been an issue? I think the weather hasn't been too bad for construction since July because July was super wet.
Right.
Oh, we
And
had the
delayed everything.
We had the extended delay for Division Road as well. It turned a 3-week project.
Was that a weather
It
thing?
was weather, it was
Oh,
rain.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe, all right, we'll cut them some slack, but
Just a bit. We won't
but
let
just a
anybody
little bit.
off the hook.
No, but it will be a bit of an issue if they can't get that paved before the asphalt plants closes because you can't run traffic down there.
Is that a thing? Do we know if asphalt plants close?
Yeah, they do.
do.
Yeah, they do.
Usually in December.
Do they?
Yeah,
it's
like right
too
around
cold.
now, it's too cold to be able to transport it. So the consistency of the asphalt mix is not up to par.
Substandard.
If the
Yeah.
weather's good, they usually go in maybe a couple of weeks into December if it's warm enough. But usually, I think it's early December. They're
Time's
done till about April.
Yeah, tick tock.
We want to drive on Road 2 again.
I want to get to work in like less than 45 minutes. Like I used to commute to Windsor, and the whole reason that I was excited was
Work in Leamington.
to not have to commute anymore. Now it still takes me 40 minutes to get to work.
Well,
I might be exaggerating.
I have realized if I leave my house no later than 7:22, I should just basically stay home. I should just basically stay
Yes.
off. 722 is the cutoff, right? I rip up the dragway of Woody Crest.
Yeah.
And then
Watch
At
out
a,
for me.
at a reasonable speed.
at a
right?
reasonable
Like,
speed.
okay.
Listen, I shake my fist at all the speeders. I'm one of you now, remember?
That's
I live in
right.
the hood.
Yeah, we still have to go out there with our hair dryers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring. Well, we'll enjoy a delicious Kingsville Brewery beer. Shameless. I know, whatever. But yeah, I would love it if Road 2 was reopened because then all of the open construction projects would be complete for the year with Jasperson getting completed.
Yeah.
Not open, but that's fine. It's done.
It's got to be opening soon, though, I would think. Jasperson, I think.
So what happens at the intersection where it goes over the culvert? Like, are they closing off that access or is it?
It goes straight.
I
I
understand
see what
the
you're
existing road, right?
Initially, I thought the plan was to tear that up.
Yeah.
Basically, the road that goes between the soccer fields, baseball diamonds, and the arena would be a dead end.
Safe passage for children going from the future school to the recreation complex.
Well, they have the footbridge, right? So they'll still keep the footbridge.
Yeah, but to cross the road, they would need safe access.
Oh, I see what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you dead end that
Then they can
connection,
cross.
yeah, then they can
Yeah,
cross safely.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is probably part of the master plan. We're just talking out our rear ends.
But then I'd heard a rumor that something was going to be one way. So I don't know. I don't know if it's, just coming out of the arena and then onto Jasperson one way. But
like a yield sign.
I don't know.
You know what?
Maybe they'll build a roundabout.
We should probably do some research and actually talk to somebody who knows
It's
that.
December.
Man, I don't know.
Does anyone want to do research? How many? Have you counted how many work days you have left? Well, Steve, you're a separate circumstance. Do you work Saturdays now? You can take up Saturday
they don't
shifts?
do Saturdays. They may have people work Sundays, but I'm down the list
Are you?
because that's
Okay.
like prime.
Well, yeah, you
Prime
mean like
pay, right?
double, triple,
I don't know if it's like
Quintuple?
yeah.
All the money.
All you do is drive around and drop off parcels. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's-
I saw a post truck.
I shouldn't say all you do, but
They serve a purpose. Have you counted how many days you got of work left for the holidays?
well, today's so 24.
Well, you don't work on the weekends.
Oh no, I don't
Yeah.
work on the weekends.
I have to burn a whole bunch of vacation. I have a good 9 days left of work until Christmas.
Ooh,
so you guys are off from like Christmas Eve till
The 3rd.
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, sorry. Pick your.
Well, I mean, it's
Priceline your
I
job?
gotta go, book my vacation.
Yeah.
But I haven't figured out. I was talking to Kath about it the other day. I'm like, oh, what do you want to take off? And she's like, I think you should just keep going to work.
Well, actually,
what
too,
about-
just so people are aware, there will be no mail on the 27th and 28th of December. It will resume from the 29th to the 31st, but then there will be no mail on January the 3rd, and then regular service will resume on the 4th of
Why do we have
January.
them on the show?
That's why.
That's why.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Is that the only reason?
Just yeah,
Okay,
couple.
just to give you the mail
Couple.
schedule
Just a
for
couple.
Christmas.
Like, Steve, how much does the stamp cost?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Could you also look up the garbage
Do you
collection
know?
schedule if you could get
Well,
provide
actually,
with the garbage
so
collection
in
update.
recent years, the way it's fallen is that garbage pickup, which is normally on a Friday, is moved to Saturday. But this year, they will be garbage pickups on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I did see that in a tweet from the town of Kingsville, whose comms person is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the best.
I hear she's
Salt of the earth.
salt,
Yeah.
well organized.
Very.
Very good script too. Thanks. Just want to remind everyone that Paws and Claws is this December 7th, 2021 at the Fantasy of Light celebration. Bring your own camera and bring your pet to Lakeside Park Pavilion and get their picture taken with Santa. There's also going to be some pet-friendly vendors on site. Payment is by donation. Visit the Town of Kingsville website for further details. So you can bring Charlie and I'll bring Millie and we'll go and we'll sit down there and watch the dogs terrorize Santa Claus.
It was a real success last year.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
Last
mentioned
year,
it.
2 years ago.
It's
Not sure.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered then I was like, oh, I should mention that because you don't have a dog, Gary. Dogs and Santa, it's like carrots and peas.
I was a pet Santa one time.
You were.
Yeah.
in a former life.
At PetSmart.
How'd you get that gig?
I don't know. It's something to do with the sales department at the radio station. They're like, hey, someone has to be Santa, and you haven't volunteered for anything in a while, so you're Santa. And I was like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not Santa. I'm pretty sure that he has not deemed me an elf, and I'm not allowed to do this.
You've not bequeathed me.
But apparently the dogs don't know better, so yeah, it was Pet Santa. So the dogs weren't bad. I didn't get peed on. I did have to hold a snake, which was awkward.
Nope.
And I had a rat on my shoulder. That was
No chinchillas.
no chinchillas.
That's the most exotic of pets was the snake and the rat.
And actually, a funny story. Let me tell you. So after I was there, so I got there, I think I did like 10 to 1 or something like that. And everyone that showed up was mad because I wasn't Steve Bell. And
Who is this?
they're like, wait, you're not Steve Bell. I'm like, no, I'm not. My name's Kevin Black. And like, we've never heard of you. Like, well, I get that. And so as I'm leaving, Steve shows up and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? And he's like, I don't know. They told me to come here and be Pet Santa. He's like, I'm the only Pet Santa at this PetSmart.
You were a hack.
And I'm like, well, it makes sense, Steve, because everyone that showed up was mad that it was me and not you. So yeah, I don't know if Steve still does it or not, but man, there were some real diehard pet owners that were really upset that I wasn't Steve Bell.
I would wage a guess that, yeah, that's just a tradition you don't let go.
You don't.
Speaking of Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie?
Yeah. Moving on. December 4th and 5th.
You're wrong.
come out for the Christmas Artisan Markets, part of Fantasy Light celebration.
Just because a movie takes place during Christmas does not mean it is a quote-unquote Christmas movie.
Well, it's not a Christmas movie in the traditional Hallmark sense.
Go on.
Yippee-ki-yay.
However, it has a feel-good factor at the end. Therefore,
no
Christmas movie.
There's no Santa
and bloody feet.
Santa's
yes, there
not
is.
in it.
Yes, there
This
is.
is the cop.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know.
You don't get that.
I don't. December 4th and 5th come out for our Christmas Artisan Markets, part of the Fantasy Light celebration in the town of Kingsville. Shop unique handmade items from local artisans. They'll also have a campfire and roast marshmallows together on Saturday night. Visit the town of Kingsville website for further details.
Hope they got a burning permit.
I just got my fire permit because they put out the blast about you can fill it out online and get your own fire pit permit.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh.
What do you got there? That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Whatever's
That's too much.
going on at that
That's
event.
caught 'em. I don't know. That's happening on the first. That's happening on the first, though.
Was that their tree lighting?
Yeah,
They do a good job out there.
Yeah,
Rotary Park.
I'm sure it was great because I don't know, Gary, you're not getting this out that fast. So I'm sure the town of Cottam had a great event.
Glary was probably there.
Glary was. Oh, gentlemen, anything else? We tried our best in lieu of our guest, which we should have on the next time.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on at the town. Nah.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're doing things.
Yeah, probably. I don't think any of our listeners make it this far into the podcast either. So quite frankly, if we got any listeners left, thanks for
maybe they fast forward. Maybe they fast forward to the end. That's where all the good stuff is. That's where we give the secret code to win the new car.
Well,
no, actually, when I was listening to that one podcast, we really ditched the social media quote of the week.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so maybe that's something we need to resurrect.
Yeah, but it was so depressing. That was the problem.
It was upsetting.
Yeah, it was venom. Like, so.
No, there was a couple that had us laughing pretty good.
But you aren't on Facebook. You don't have to go through all the 9,000 posts about how everyone's angry that this building is here and, this person's lawn is too green and when's garbage pickup and oh my gosh, the recycling truck didn't come to my neighborhood. When are they ever going to come? If there's anything, they complained about us too.
Of course they did.
They complained about us.
Generally.
I hope so.
That's how we know we're doing things right.
Absolutely. And
Did they complain about us? Oh, now I'm a little self-conscious. What'd they say?
Yeah, I'm a little worried now.
There were 3 men on a balcony in the middle of town screaming.
Did they really?
No,
They loved us.
They did.
Everyone loved us. We're beloved.
I thought the singing was great touch.
Yeah, well, it was.
Well, you got all these freezing kids, and then you start jingle bells and
You got it. And rounding out the whole conversation, that was the only thing was from our vantage point, we didn't know when the parade was coming.
right.
So I artificially kicked it off thinking that the lights were coming our way. But apparently they were just readjusting around Spruce Street. And I'm like, all right, well, let's fill some time.
But I did send off the list of gifts when you had all those kids yelling their gifts. I got
good.
them all down, sent them off to
Good.
Santa.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
I saw you writing feverish.
oh my gosh, feverishly.
I don't
haven't
know.
written that feverishly in a couple of years, so it was a good challenge.
Well, as one does.
So that's what shorthand's for.
As one does.
Right.
But if little Lucy gets her horse, then we've done our job.
Hey,
Well,
hey, that's the best you can hope for.
I'd like to thank Gary Glass of Quantum Sound Productions for producing this podcast. If you need multicam, live entertainment, commercial video, or audio production, visit their website at quantumsoundproductions.ca for more info. Thanks, Gary. You make all of this possible. Without Gary, we wouldn't be here
No.
looking at you guys. through
Also,
YouTube.
if you need a parade videoed,
yeah.
Gary's a pro.
Especially at night.
You know what? The one comment that I got about that was the one guy on the Facebook group that was he worked for A Channel or CTV.
Oh,
and
Tony Smith.
Yeah, Tony.
That was
the
fantastic.
new WI.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, if he only knew.
It's going to be on your TV.
Oh, it's on your TV, yeah.
Channel 711. I'm not sure the schedule, but it'll be on soon.
So
I'll just start watching now.
yeah, stay tuned. And how much, if they watch, do we get royalties?
I don't think so.
We'd donate them anyway if we got royalties.
So it's not on my TV, it's just on your TV. Terrible.
I haven't watched.
Terrible.
I haven't watched like actual TV in years, but I will watch that. Well, no, just watch the YouTube video.
No, watch it on your TV.
Yeah.
You know what? You should watch them simultaneously on both.
Absolutely, and put them on repeat.
Yeah.
Right. And don't forget to like and subscribe to That Kingsville Podcast or email us at thatkingsvillepodcast@gmail.com for any inquiries or points, or if you want to tell us how awesome we are or how not awesome we are.
Are we gonna put the parade out as a podcast so people can listen to the audio version of the parade play by play? No.
Theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind.
I can picture an F-150. It's painted yellow. It's got Kingsville Home Hardware on the side, and there's lights. Yes.
Do some parade play by play.
And the truck is moving at approximately 7 kilometers per hour. Oh, it stopped. And now it's moving again.
And that girl's handing out candy canes, and it looks like she's run out.
Oh, such a shame for all those poor children down there.
Oh,
They were just here for a good time and a candy cane. This week, we leave you with a song from local singer and songwriter Philip Scott Poley, performing one of his songs from a recent Sun Parlor Coffeehouse session. You can find out more about Philip and his music at philipscottpoley.com. That's philipscottpoli.com. Thanks for joining us on That Kingsville Podcast, and we'll see you next time.
One day this train will get a riding. One day this train will get a riding. Pull right off of this rusty old siding and get back on the high irons. One day a song will be singing. One day a song will be singing. With mama in the kitchen and the doorbell ringing. And we'll all dip our bread in the sauce. 'Cause there's only one sky, only one wind in this world we're living in. I'm gonna stop and close my eyes and see us together under one sky. One day these arms are gonna hug you. One day these arms are gonna hug you. Pull back the clouds, see a rainbow above you, as long as I can get back home. 'Cause there's only one sky and only one wind in this world we're living in. Just stop and close your eyes and see us together under one sky. One day this train will get a riding. One day this train will get a riding. Pull right off of this rusty old siding and get back on the high iron. 'Cause there's only one sky, only one wind in this world we're living in. I'm gonna stop and close my eyes and see us together under one sky. See us together under one sky.